Today's RF signals are complex. They often vary significantly with time, as seen with Bluetooth and Zigbee wireless communication standards, or they occupy a wide bandwidth. Unfortunately, spectrum analyzers typically have limited capture bandwidth. Most only capture 10 MHz in a single acquisition, which is insufficient for today's wireless communication signals. The downside of using a traditional spectrum analyzer on today's RF signals is that while the spectrum analyzer is acquiring one portion of the spectrum, the event that affects your design operation is happening in another part of the spectrum. Even if you don't see this event, it can still affect you. Now, the Tektronix MDO4000 series offers a new alternative. With up to 3 GHz of capture bandwidth, you can see the details of your RF spectrum with a single acquisition. Because the display isn't swept, you're guaranteed to see the events you're looking for in the frequency domain. Let's take a closer look with a few examples. In the first example, a UWB signal operating with about 530 MHz of bandwidth is analyzed. First, let's set up the correct span and center frequency for this signal. Next, an RF amplitude versus time trace is added. With the scope in a free run mode, an RF power level trigger is set up to synchronize the acquisition. In this simple demonstration, you can see the MDO4000 is able to capture the signal quickly and easily. In contrast, a spectrum analyzer would have had to acquire the signal with multiple sweeps because of its narrow capture bandwidth. For further analysis, the cursors will be turned on. Now the time delay can be checked from when the control signal was asserted to when the RF signal went active. Next, let's look at an example of a system using a dual-band transceiver. A captured bursted communication being received by the device via Zigbee at 900 MHz and transmitted by the device via Bluetooth at 2.4 GHz is captured in a single acquisition. As you can see, all system details are found in one capture. With a wide bandwidth capture of both bands, you can see how these two signals interact with each other and how they transition from an on state to an off state. With the wide capture bandwidth on the MDO4000 series, you'll be sure to see things you haven't seen before. Troubleshooting today's wireless designs has never been easier.